Hello, 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 I'm Raut,
And this is Sduaz.
and we are here doing another co-cast for Wargame Airland Battle. And the map today is Starvanger. On NATO's side we have Mountsorrel, Logical, Raut, and Ivan Dolvitch.
And on Pact we have Raymond Saint, Joker, Schultz, and Comrade Ridje.
Commander Ridje. Interesting name. Both teams placing down all the markers where they are going to be heading. Starvanger been quite an interesting map. Very, very hilly, as you can see. Lots of hills, lots of forests. Very Scandinavian.
Yeah, it's a good map if you want to push and you just want sort of positions to poke your head out of. One of my favorite ones is just to the right of Charlie. You see these two pillars, and in between them, you got a little bit of forest, and you just poke your head there.
Yeah, very good placement for ATGMs. You can shoot down anything that comes into Charlie at long range of like a Conquer squadron, yeah, for example. And yeah, people are gonna start buying their units. Little Roland from Ivan Dolvitch in Alpha, and not really too many helicopters I see at the moment. Just a few Hueys here and there from NATO, but not anything too dedicated.
And if you're noticing a lot of medium tanks, especially from Pact, you got a bunch of T-72s, you got a bunch of T-62s, which are 1972 ones, and you're not seeing any T-80s or high-end T-72s. You're seeing a lot of mediums.
Yeah.
Which probably reflects the changes of the patch.
And probably its map as well. It's not really any... In a lot of areas it's CQC close range fighting that you can really engage in. For example, like Hotel. You're not really going to be shooting anywhere past like 1,500 meters in it of a tank. So these closer range tanks are a lot more better for the cheapness, and where you don't need the long range ATGM at short range is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I suspect a lot of fighting is going to happen in the north because that's where they got most of their tanks. In the south, you see they've got a lot of transport vehicles. They're probably going to set up in Hotel and then Golf and just sort of camp for a while.
Indeed, indeed. Also notice on the top side of the map, as I see NATO pacing down little markers there, you have all this very hilliest, mountainous terrain, which you can do some very sneaky peeky business with recon infantry and start spotting CVs and Foxtrot, and heck, even if you do it the other way, all the way into Lima.
Some interesting placement of the fob, I find. I mean, look at NATO at Alpha. They've placed their fob right at the edge. I'm not entirely sure what the point of that is. Oh, he's just moved it.
Yeah, I just moved it, right, yeah. It's always good to put your FOBs near a road so you can, you know, quickly resupply your units that come in. And here we go, match has started, thank God.
You can actually see some of the changes in the moves of the players. Like initially at Foxtrot, the NATO side had put down 4 Rise patterns, and now he's just changed his mind and he put in MBT-70s instead.
Yep, and they are going to be moving up. I think he's probably using a Mountaineer infantry in those Chinooks to try and get the point ASAP. Pact are going slightly heavy. They're bringing up a lot of BTR-70s up into Delta.
You can tell this map, you know, NATO's brought in a lot of infantry and choppers, but the Pact really haven't done it. I can't see a single infantry in any choppers.
Yeah, we do have a MiG-25 seaplane from Joker, which is going to try and shoot down that probably run low and mortar to Roland, which it does manage to succeed so successfully, and...
Sexfully? Yes, it is. That's what seeds do. They plant their seed.
Not safe for work, kids. Not safe for work. Now back in Delta, Scooch Paulus has managed to get some mods directly in the little lumber mill, yeah.
I'm not really sure what Pact's doing at Lima. I mean, they brought all these T tanks. I think they'd push up, but they just put their infantry first and they're deciding to wait.
Yeah, that's kind of all keeping them, yeah. That's a bit odd, I have to say. NATO actually gone quite aggressive into Juliet, moving up some Jaegers into that forest, which could actually ambush these T-72s that do drive by. If they get a good side shot, yeah, if they do, you know, poke over the hill, they could probably shoot those T-72s. Can they actually see it? Oh, now he does. Yeah. Now he does.
Side shots, come on.
Yeah, he's going to avoid them, it seems. He wants to keep Jaegers overwatching until road from Lima.
I suspect Pact didn't want to push because they felt like their tanks weren't powerful enough. I mean, yeah, they are T-72s. They got good AP, but I guess he didn't really feel that was enough.
Didn't really trust his units. The T-72s are in that little forest here in Juliet, and they are taking a few pot shots at the M35 and Rifleman. Dawn is flying over, and these T-72s are going to shoot them down. I really like the T-72 placement in Juliet, yeah, in perfect positions. Perfect positions. The run that has all the markers over it at the moment is in a good, pretty CQC area range where it can shoot anything that does try to come down the top side of this road here and anything through here. While the other T-72 near the water side is in a great position to shoot anything that does drive by. And T-72s are probably one of the greatest CQC tanks for its pricing game. So I really like the use of the T-72s here. I absolutely love it. I love it.
And one of these intruders is going to go on a bombing run, probably going to miss these T-72s because they are reversing. Yeah.
Not doing too much damage, actually no damage, or just panicking the units. Pact are actually trying to move up in this little two-pillar area, just bottom of Charlie. You know, they are getting completely bombed up. Aardvark dropping in bunches of rock guys. I believe they're the cluster bombs. Yep, I am correct. Taking out a few T-72s, no one's taking out the Tunguska. Yeah, totally.
That was good.
Fly over.
Interesting choice that the Spetsnaz VMF are no longer just 5-man squads; they're now 2-man sniper teams.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like that. I mean that's why you have Red Zvika, but yeah, I wouldn't buy Spetsnaz now.
I think they did that for Pact because that was like, I think that's the only reasonable unit that Pact could have a sniper squad. Like no other Pact squad beforehand had a Dragunov. Yeah, it's the only like Pact squad. The Pact infantry squad with the Dragunov. So that's why they've probably done that. Like Fernspurs now are sniper squads now, which makes them quite interesting.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the patch that really continued to annoy me. I really wish West Germany had some special forces. Now if you see in Juliet, those Jaegers are actually down to 1 man, so they probably got spotted.
Yeah. But they are still spotting true and strong. That wrong guy all alone. He has a pretty calm about the situation compared to his stats.
And that's interesting. NATO's actually put down a marker in between Charlie and Bravo which says risky. And the players left.
Yeah, goes Joker.
That's some bad sportsmanship there.
Yeah, I know in the replay center it did say it did end up being a 3v3, so someone on NATO is probably going to leave in a minute. Not entirely sure why. I'm not going to take any guesses over here. I do have Raven all the way in Juliet, knocking out a few of these Osas from long range. Oh, that SU-24 doing a great bombing run there, knocking out 2 whole squads of riflemen.
And that's a M113 Dragon. You don't see many of them. It's pretty crappy ATGM, but I guess for the price it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad indeed. Oh yeah, alright, the Dragon ATGM is pretty crap in general, just because of its like really low penetration power, like, very low penetration power.
Yeah, and its accuracy isn't making up for the fact by having good accuracy either.
Yeah. But it does
I'm not sure what Pact's plan is right now.
Yeah.
Because Joker's left, so maybe they're thinking just be defensive. But this isn't a destruction game, so they're gonna have to push.
Yeah, NATO's in the lead, just by slightly a little bit at the moment, but yeah, it's all they really need to win. This map, it can be quite hard to attack. There is no like middle contested point that makes it so there's an odd amount of capture points in the map. So if they just stay where they are at the moment and hold their ground, this could be a stalemate, I have to say.
Good move on NATO. If you see in the back north of Lima, they've got some Lynx and SAS coming down just to give them line of sight.
Do some sneaky peeky business, yeah. They're dropping out all the SAS all around.
And if you don't know, SAS are like the NATO version of
FJBs.
the East German Fallschirmjägers. So they've got both an anti-air and an anti-tank missile.
Yep. It make them basically SAS and FJBs. They are the perfect jack of all trade infantry. They can knock out any unit in game theoretically. They can kill planes and helicopters with a blowpipe theoretically. Tanks theoretically with the law, and infantry theoretically with their M16. But they're not really good at any of it, to be honest. They don't have the machine gun for infantry stopping power. The blowpipe's pretty mediocre, and the law is kind of crap.
It's the old phrase, jack of all trades, master of none.
That's the SAS in a nutshell. but they are actually going to get routed out a little bit more directly in the forest, causing them to fall back. The other SAS do move slightly faster, so they could get out of dodge, I think. Unless the BMP2 stun them and use their auto cannons, which they are using to completely annihilate the entire squad, yeah.
Titan Falcon coming out from Nato at Foxtrot. It's a good multi-role plane, relatively inexpensive.
Indeed, indeed. So I think he's going to try and bomb some of those units in that little forest, yeah. Maybe the BMP2s, it seems. Yup. It's going to drop its 2,000 pounders and not do much damage.
That wasn't worth it.
I think he thought he was, yeah, but he did not have really any good line of sight over the area, so he did end up missing.
Yeah, you know, planes are easily one of the hardest things to use in airline battle. I mean, sometimes they make weird movements of their own, but half time, if you just send them out and you're not quite sure what's there, they may get shot down because missiles. It's just a weird thing. I don't think anyone's really super good at using planes apart from the top level players, and that's because they know the cost effectiveness of using which planes at which time. And many of them, they bring out all their planes all at once, so the anti-air doesn't know what to do.
Indeed, indeed. Now, the SAS in that little forest up north did manage to spot the enemy CV as well as some of their AA, so they might try and bomb and run, yeah. Oh, they are going to try bomb run, yeah, PRGM. We do have a Nighthawk flying on the edges of the map with its pave ray missile ready to cause havoc, completely bypassing the enemy AA. Is he going to turn and start dropping that bomb? He's not turning.
Yeah, I mean, he's going after the command vehicle, which is the best thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, he's still not turning. Is he trying to get completely behind him? Oh, now he is. Now he's starting to bank in for the kill. And that BRDM2 is going to have a very bad day.
That Book is firing. Oh, the Book just missed.
Yeah, the Nighthawk managed to get a ray almost unscathed. Lima is now completely neutralized, and they're going to have to bring up a CV from Juliet if they want to keep that point secured. And the rest of the map,
what is this? Mass T-34 spam.
Really? Oh, joy, oh, joy, oh, joy.
Delta.
Let's get out the popcorn.
Looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 9 or 8 stacks of 4 T-34s.
Yeah, so that's like 36 T-34s.
And not one of them will kill a single thing.
But you're a dive for the glorious motherland, and all about rubbish mumbo jumbo. Yep, Pact did manage to re-secure Lima with their CV from Juliet. Now they're going to buy a CV all the way from either Lima or India to recapture Juliet. And speaking of Juliet, yeah, Jaeger squad is still alive. Can he actually spot anything of that, yo? No, he's just not in a good position. He's keeping it here for her reasons. I have a nice little picnic in that little forest.
They found the command vehicle at Lima, and NATO starting to bombard it.
Wait, how do you...
I think they moved their command vehicle from Juliet back into Lima because they wanted a spawn point.
Yup. And the T-34s are starting to move up into Delta and Mass. A lot of them, he is fast moving them, and
this Bradley Orton is going to destroy every single one of them.
Picked off. That's this isn't the way you want a T-34s man. Like, to be honest, he's doing it quite wrong. They're all pretty much sectioned off. They're not in one big clump, and he's fast moving. I mean, and they're not going to be entirely great. And he doesn't really have any backup units to really support the spam. He's just moving them up in basically a single formation to just get picked off one by one. Which, as a person who will use T-34 spams a lot, yes, it's me, this isn't the way you do it.
Yeah, I think I've faced your T-34 spam in a couple of games.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite tactics. Yeah, and he's going to try and move up. Cobra's going to be coming up to deal with his assault here. So an Apache as well, good god. Not even really bringing in the big guns to try and stop this.
Yeah, they brought out 2 Cobras and Apache and they think that's what they need, and they brought out another Cobra. So, a bit of an overkill on that.
T-34s, they just keep coming. I think he's actually run out of him now. And yeah, just They are completely surrounded.
I would have loved to have seen some age-gated Tonys, like to have a tournament with just pre-1975 units, something like that.
That'd be quite an interesting tournament because they'd be a very different playstyles from everyone, and not really any heavy tanks as well. Though I can see Tomcats being used quite a bit here in that type of tournament, because they're quite a good 75 deck. In the hotel, all the way down south, you have a little bit of a skirmish from Nato. Lots of cool movement, his British tanks back and forth. Yo, oh, the MiG-21Ss are going to be dropping in the clusters. These guys can take some serious damage, losing his Scorpions and a few Chieftains. Yeah, he's going to fall back for another day. And if Nato does try and assault hotel, it will be quite costly, as Pact does have an awful lot of units in that town. Towns are hard to really attack, and that is a lot of Silklers and Osas and books just spread out everywhere in the hotel. Be quite hard to really do anything about yet.
Yeah, I feel like NATO's done a pretty good job in the south and in Juliet, just pushing up their units. They may not be like contesting zones, but they certainly are just keeping the pressure.
Indeed. The Raymond Saints starting to move up some BTRs in that little lumber mill in Delta. Is he actually going to reach out or get completely destroyed at this question? Yeah, he's unloaded his bombs directly, just in time. You've just going to move him up in that lumber mill and he's simply good to go. SU-7BM going to be flying over, dropping in some high explosive cells, which is they going to knock out the Sapperel? Oh, just barely knocking out that Sapperel, one row place bomb, and the SU-7 does get destroyed. You have a second one coming in, a third one actually attacking the helicopter.
5 of them.
I think he uses SU-7BM, which only has like a really crappy cannon and a HE bomb to straight from a helicopter. I think that's a bit of a misclick.
Oh, they brought out like 5 of them, and now an Eagles come on, and he gets shot down.
Just Pact really liking their AAs. Osas, there's so many Osa AKs bloody everywhere. And Nato actually moving up into Juliet a little bit, having some heavy tank cells, some Challengers and M1 Abrams. Those C-72s don't stand too much of a chance.
Oh, they could if they could just get a line of sight. No, they're gonna destroy.
Those C-64s, yeah, they could actually move in and try to get the flank, but I think he is not going to do that.
That's a sweet choice. I mean, you got 2 Abrams and you got 2 Challengers, but no anti-air.
There's Scooch Poos north of the little Abrams, so yeah, have some BMP2s moving up with infantry inside. They could actually flank him with the infantry and start getting their rear armor with some role-place RPG-7 shots.
You know what I actually find kind of interesting is, you see the FOB, that's what really interests me, the FOB. If you look at Foxtrot, the Apache lands near it and gets resupplied. I kind of wish you could tell it a helicopter to land in the helicopter zone and it would just resupply automatically.
Yeah,
it's just like on the FOB.
Just have a little helicopter pad here would be quite useful indeed. Yeah, I don't know if the Mi-26 could. I don't know if the Mi-26 would actually fit on yet.
And I'm not quite sure, like, I feel like each side, they're just sort of just probing each other, trying to do stuff, but there's nobody trying to make a killer move right as yet. No one's really, and you can tell a killer move is coming when someone builds up their forces and they get their arty ready, they get their planes ready, and then their maneuvers start happening. I mean, that T-34 was the closest thing we got in this game to any kind of maneuver.
That Raven just, literally like 8 missiles went up that Raven's arse and just completely shot him down.
Oh, Ravens.
SU-24M, gonna be bomb running those Challengers and M1 Abrams. That force not doing too much damage, though. But yeah, as you were mentioning, there haven't really been any like big en masse assault, unless you count that T-34 assault, but that didn't really go down entirely well. Both sides have been using a smaller, like, focused battle groups to really attack and probe into each other's sides.
That's great. There's some Marine Jaeger at Lima, and it's just got good line of sight. I don't know how they got it snuck it around. I guess it's because Pact have decided not to close up that gap north of Lima.
Yeah, that's a pretty good spot indeed to see what the Pact units are spawning in Lima. And Pact are actually trying to move up yet again into Delta, this time with a little bit more sensible force of T-62s and T-72s. Yo, there is the Cobra and MBT-70 and M1 Abrams, yeah, so EC-72s may not face the nicest routing in party.
Yeah, I definitely see Pact going down. Now what NATO needs to do is a killing blow is, and most games I play on this map, we try to focus heavily on one side, and as within the first 15 minutes, either neutralize Lima or neutralize India. And because if you leave it too long, then you just get this critical mass of defenses and it's too built up. But if they were to pass through Juliet, they could take the road down to Lima, spawn at Lima, and then start bringing out infantry.
Indeed, indeed. Yo, NATO at the moment are starting to gain quite a lot of points as they do have Lima. They actually managed to neutralize Lima. Neutralize the Lima CV in the air with Marine Jaegers, it seems. Oh, he also had the sniper Marine Jaegers. Oh, I see. Oh, they changed it to snipers. I didn't notice that till now.
What nation is that? I'm not quite sure.
It was Danish, I believe, or Norwegian. Well, no, by God, I think that's Danish. Honest to God, I think that's Danish.
It doesn't matter too much. I'm sure in Red Dragon everyone will just play as a Scandinavian coalition, and it won't matter.
And yeah, NATO really gaining an advantage at the moment. And they haven't really, like, heavily pushed up, except for in Juliet, and just, I really like all the scouting and reconning they've been doing in Lima to just, you know, neutralise the points. Because now they need to bring a CV all the way from bloody India to recapture Juliet and Lima. And that could be quite a while from now, because that is a long path. Yeah, it's already bringing run up already halfway, yeah.
I definitely see Pact losing this game. I don't really see where they come back from it. It's just sort of a slow burn from losing one player. You know, losing one player, you get the points, but what you don't get is the extra supply. So you don't get fewer units, and you're fighting with fewer units in the long run. And it's just more micro-intensive game.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I think NATO, they could really just completely surround Lima at the moment, as they do have a lot of force in Juliet. And if they just bring up a few more, they could actually completely shut down the Juliet side, yeah. And then just have two rays of entry into Lima and completely mess them up. You know, Pact has managed to re-secure Juliet. I think the better idea is move that CV into Lima, because they really need that resupply point in Lima. Oh, they already have one going there, never mind. Forget I said
one hitting there. And they still don't know that Marine Jaeger's there. Oh, that MI9's there. They probably.
Oh, the MI-24's in the flyover, and they are gonna be dropping in the S5 rocket. There's Marine Jaegers, 1857mm of high explosives. And they are going to recapture Lima.
I'm wondering though. Like, I feel like NATO's being really passive. I really wish they would just push decisively on Juliet and cut the map in half for Pact.
Because they could definitely do it, I have to say. We do have, like, the Challengers and M1 and P Abrams, which would completely just dominate face in the Juliet sector. There is C-64As in that Juliet sector starting to move up. They could probably knock out the AA, and heck, even maybe at, M113, oh, never mind, yeah, the Lynx TOW2's ready to mess stuff up. The TOW2 missile being notorious for being completely kick-ass. They shot down the C-64s with relative ease.
I wonder how it's possible, but NATO actually sees the command vehicle at Juliet. I don't know where they're spotting them from.
Wait, how can they see it? To be honest, I think they're guessing.
Oh, yeah, probably.
That might be it. This might be a very good guess. You know, I was trying to fire artillery on that CV in Juliet. What was he shooting the artillery with? Let me just take a gander real fast. I think it's actually mortars.
Actually, in this map, it slightly favors the Pact side to a very slight extent. And I say this because when I play with guys like Octopus, what we'll usually do is one player will neutralize Juliet and stop reinforcements from coming through, and the other player will go straight for Lima. So you're cutting the map in half, and then you're neutralizing one side of the map. And it's a lot harder to do that in NATO because Foxtrot and Alpha are connected by that strip of land. So even if someone goes after Foxtrot and they've got Delta and Echo, you can still go across.
That is actually a very good point to make indeed. I think it's starting to slow down a little bit, not really any side moving up too much. A little bit skirmishing down south as Fusiliers completely surrounded by Pact forces. Really in between a rock and a hard place.
A rock and a missile, more like. Oh, they could get some good kills though. They could kill that Shellker, they could kill that Osa, get some side shots on T-64A, but those are going to go down anyway.
Yeah, I think it's starting to slow down just a little bit. Because M60, you have some, probably very interesting, you have some M60 rise patterns all around the top side of the map, driving around and through the forest. If they actually get them out of the forest, they can probably start shooting those Silkers and T-72s out and driving up through the road. The Pact's moving up as T-72s, they probably going to get destroyed by the complete overwhelming force of NATO in Delta.
T-72s continue to be a good CQC tank. My problem is that ever since the patch, I feel like it's more cost effective because they increase in price by 5 points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually better to get the T-72A because they got a slightly better AP and accuracy. I like NATO. They put on a couple of flares and they say, "Can we start to advance carefully here in between Echo and Juliet?" Guys, carefully may not be the best word there, and start may not be the best word. Yeah, they should just go ahead and do it.
I do like it when players use those custom markers, as if you're playing in a pub game where you don't know your teammate, it's the best way to communicate him. Because you'll point on the map, you'll point on the map on what the situation is, then you can type in the message, it's like, CV here, really great way to communicate, and even in the start of matches for just marking down where you're going to be going, it's really useful to do, and I wish more players were to do that in pub games, as most of them I see do not.
I mean, most pub games, I don't talk to any of my teammates apart from like typing messages out, and that can get really annoying. So I mostly play with people I know on TeamSpeak. But I hope in Red Dragon they add some kind of like built-in VoIP.
Just something simple at least, because it can be kind of hard to communicate with your teammates sometimes.
Oh, especially if they're not moving their shit, and you need them to move, but they're not moving, and then everything blows up.
I think this is coming into a little bit of a stalemate, to be honest. This Pact moves up into Delta, they get destroyed, they fall back, and nothing's still going on in Juliet. I really want to see them move up in Juliet right now. They could do it, they could really do it. They have everything they need to do it. They have paratroopers and riflemen all around, ordered to Roland and chaparrals who down any petty helicopters that come by. And even links those two to knock out any big threats. And speaking of big threats, I've not seen a single like big tank. Not a single like T-80U or T-80A or anything from Pact. There's always been these close quarters T-62s and T-72s, which is quite interesting.
I think it's a problem. I mean, like pubs, they should realize that, you know, the patch has made medium tanks good, but there's still a time and a place for heavies. And that time and a place is to deal with alternative heavies. Because in this game, like, if you get to the middle of the game, there's going to be such a heavy concentration of anti-air that it's actually a good idea to have ground-based ways to take out heavy tanks and not rely on helicopters to do that.
Or ATGM planes, in that matter.
I mean, it's the same thing with recon. Like, recon vehicles are great, but if you need to be able to hold a position and you need recon, it's better to have a recon infantry because they're easier to hide.
Oh, speaking of heavy tanks, so we do have a T-80B coming out of Lima. Thank God, praise the heavens, Pact is starting to get out some heavy guns. And TADB is what they need. Yeah, we do have some riflemen and paratroopers moving through the bottom side of Juliet. Oh god, I think NATO might actually start to advance into the air.
Yeah, I don't think they had enough Abrams. They just wanted like 20 Abrams as opposed to 5. Oh, Legion. French Legion. Talk about French units. Legion, that's quite fun to have.
Yeah, they're quite awesome because they're counted as like special forces units now. So they
yeah,
are quite kick-ass.
I quite like the French and British special forces, like not special forces, but like their shock troops.
Yeah.
Stuff like paratroopers, Royal Marines, Legion, and Arima are really great.
They're great, absolutely great.
The problem is I've mostly just been playing Americans nowadays, so I'm stuck with Delta Force, which I don't like Delta Force.
Yeah.
It pains me to say.
Yeah, the problem with Delta Force is that they have a nice assault rifle, and it's like the only United States unit with a close quarter submachine gun, but they have a law rocket launcher, and the law absolutely sucks. If they just gave the Delta Force a Carl Gustav, things would be a lot better for them, and an awful lot better. And those Delta Force guys would be quite good. NATO finally managing to move up into Julia, knocking out T-72s and BDRMs with absolute ease. Now if they can just shot down the complete little like road by the waterside in Juliet by just placing ambush points in the little forests everywhere, they can really have this map completely locked down and in their favour.
Yeah, if you see, they finally cut off Juliet, so there's not going to be any more reinforcements passing through.
Yeah, and those guys in Lima are completely surrounded. They actually have another Marine Jaeger going into the same spot as last time. As you can see, I'm probably going to try and spot that CV in Lima. And if the CV in Lima goes down, it's good game, because they can't bring up another one from Juliet.
Yeah, it's definitely over for them.
Yeah, I do actually have 2 CVs in Lima. Bit of insurance, yeah, we already have spotted Run. And what's directly are going to kill the Marine Jaegers, yo. Is he? Oh, very lucky. That Marine Jaeger, just barely alive. He did lose his little buddy, yo.
You think, it'd be funny if Marine Jaegers and snipers like that actually had camouflage, regardless of whether or not they were actually in camouflage? Because they have, like, ghillie suits.
Yeah.
So they just stand still and they're already, even if they're not in a forest, they're immediately camouflaged.
That would be quite an interesting mechanic. That one CV has been knocked out in Lima. Is Pact going to bring up another one, or just keep the one and only CV in that point?
I would think they would keep that second 2 command vehicles in Lima, because the number of times it's been knocked out, it's sort of like it's a good way to distract the enemy. They think they can deal with one CV, but in fact there's another, and then bang.
Speaking of CVs, the second one in Lima has been spotted, and the artillery is starting to drop on top of it. Oh, this is not good if this goes down. Oh, I think it's just mortars firing. Yeah, it's just Panzer mortars firing onto it.
Plus, I think that is that the BRM. It got taken out.
Oh, it got taken out. This is not good for Pact here. Completely surrounded. No hope of reinforcements in Lima. Oh, that's not a good position there be, and also as well NATO get a +2 advantage in terms of points.
I could have sworn that was the CV that Soviets have with exceptional optics, like the version of the BRM. I think it's the only command vehicle to actually have exceptional optics in the game.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't know where you really need it, to be honest, as a command vehicle is usually just hiding in the forest, hoping it doesn't get bombed or artilleried to little smithereens.
It really is the question of, I know the broader metagame within Wargame Airland Battle of, do you take multi-role or do you take dedicated units? And, do you take a dedicated bomber or do you take a multi-role bomber? Do you take a command vehicle tank like a Leopard 2 command vehicle that can cap, as well as at the start of the game, you could take one command vehicle and you could take one tank, like a Leopard 2. Or you could take one that does both.
Or you could just take everything if you really want to. Just one of every unit.
Points, yeah. It's like the Bradley Recon, do you take a Bradley by itself and a separate recon unit, or do you take a Bradley Recon and you get the best of both worlds? And that's less micro-intensive, but also more risky. Because you're putting everything in one pot.
Indeed. And yeah, Pact is really buggered. Oh, there goes Raymond Saint on the Pact side. So it's gonna be a 2v4 at this current situation. And yeah, this isn't looking good for Pact one bit.
He's pretty much, Raymond's like, you know, no, I can't handle this anymore. It's like, he just said, I'm out. I'm done. I know we're gonna win. I know it in my heart. I don't need to do this.
Yep. Indeed, indeed.
I like what he's in just to the left of hotel. They put a little marker that says Nuke Eagle. Not entirely sure what they mean by that.
Strike Eagle or a the F-15 Strike Eagle.
Oh right, the one with the 1,000 bomb. Yeah.
It's basically like a tactical nuke in this game because huge explosion destroys everything, and that's why I kind of like it yet hate it at the same time.
So expensive. Such an expensive unit.
I believe now.
And if you, I was gonna say south of Bravo, they bring on a lot of choppers, Chinooks, Canadian, Marines. I think those are Marine choppers.
Yeah. And
those are great choppers because they've got Gatling guns, and they've got little rocket pods.
Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's Tac Curie. That one's absolutely cool. Really cool. That makes them like really good after you land. They can actually join in on the fight and give some pretty good suppressive fire with those rocket pods.
Yeah, they don't have a ton of rockets, but it's just enough.
And I think he's just gonna go straight into the tail of a paratrooper. So yeah, I really doubt the effectiveness of that because of it's a crap ton of AA completely spread out. So yeah. I think Nato's just messing around now because they know they have it in the bag. A +3 advantage now they have Juliet captured.
At this point, they should probably just go after Lima. Practice assaulting a defended position.
Tornado, dropping into plus the bombs, no C-64s, doing a bit of damage, but not too much.
Actually, one of the most fun things I ever did in a map like this, I was at Lima, and I was assaulting Foxtrot, and we had cleared Delta and Echo, so I snuck a command vehicle helicopter into the back of Foxtrot. And they were like, oh, why can't we spawn anything?
And there goes
he's not dead.
There goes Comrade Ridje. So all that's left on the team is Scutru Paulus. Why do people have to have such hard to pronounce names? And I think he's probably be leaving quite soon.
Yeah, I think they're trying to psych out their enemy.
And you have the helicopter assault move. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to see it go out as all of the Pact side have left, and that's going to be a good game. Nato completely dominating them.
Yeah, Pact 6,000 kills, 11,000 losses.
Yeah, it's like a 2-to-1 KD ratio. Bloody hell.
Yeah, Jesus.
Bloody hell. Yeah, I really like the Nato assault. Yeah, even though they're a bit too passive for my liking, but at least they finally managed to capture Julia. And because they can do that, they completely shot down Lima, as we already mentioned. And Lima just is completely isolated. You kill the CVs, yeah. And as you see, it's a good game.
Yeah. GG, guys.
GG. And Rowler, I'm Rangru.
And I'm Sduaz.
And take it easy.
See you guys.